Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for hitting the subscribe button, and if you're an old subscriber, thank you for staying tuned to the channel. And if you're just seeing my video for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button, share, like, and every other thing, comment. Yep. So in this video we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful two-piece set. It's a skirt and a top. Stay tuned as you learn. So for this project, we'll be needing these two fabrics. I'm using an Ankara fabric. You could either use a silk fabric, just like the one that was used in the exact style we're replicating, or you could use a flowered crepe. You could use any choice of fabric. And here is also a sunray black fabric. It's about 2 yards. You could also use a plain crepe if you don't want it to be patterned, or you could use this new pleated patterned fabric, depending on whatever you want to use. So let's get right into the video. Yep, go ahead to take all your vertical measurements, which is from my shoulder to my chest line, which is 7.5. Then I'll make it 8 inch. I've gone ahead to add ½ inch from the shoulder, because I'm going to go ahead to join it at the shoulder area. So here I'm going to go ahead to also do that and give them 8 inches. So first I'm going to go ahead to also take my bust point, which is 10 inch plus sewing allowance, which is going to give me 10.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead to do that here as well. Make sure to use your own measurements. Don't use these exact measurements that I'm using, so that you will not sew something else for yourself, right? So after that, you're going to go ahead to take from your shoulder to your under bust, which mine is 12.5 inches. I'm going to mark that as 13. I'm going to mark it here as 13 inches. I'm going ahead to connect the lines together. So after that, I'm going to go ahead to take our waist measurement, which my waist measurement is 15.5. That's going to make me mark that 16 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Don't forget to add the ½ inch, sorry, not 1 inch, the ½ inch sewing allowance as you're going down. But if you don't want to add the ½ inch sewing allowance, you can go ahead to just take the measurements directly, and when you're cutting, you're going to go ahead to add the sewing allowance at the top. Then you go ahead to take your blouse measurement, which is 21 inches, but then you're going to take away the half from the top, and then you're going to take away the half from the joining as well at the lower part where you joining your lining. So here now we're going to have 22 inches, and then here as well we're going to have 22 inches. So next thing is I'm just going to connect the line together again. I'm coming to my shoulder. So here we're going to take our shoulder measurement divided by 2, which mine is 7 inches after divided it by 2 plus sewing allowance. So I'm adding ½ inch sewing allowance. I'm going to go ahead to also connect that to the chest line, and then I'm going to go ahead to connect these lines together. We'll take our nipple to nipple measurement, which mine is 8. 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. That is our dart measurement. So I'm going to be marking our dart, which mine is 4 inches. Make sure to take your measurement and know the accurate measurement mark the accurate measurement you'll be using. So here I'm going ahead to connect the line that I've created together. So after that, I'm just going to my waist point. I'm going ahead to take ½ inch on both ends That's for our dart. And we're going ahead to take our dart from here. We'll go ahead to take 1.5 inch after your bust point. After your bust point, you're going to take 1.5 inches. So from that 1.5 inch, you're going to go ahead to connect your darts together. So here I'm going to go ahead to just connect my dart lines. Make sure to connect it to that point. And then you go ahead to connect it to your blouse length as well. So here now we're done with our dart. This is our dart measurements. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is we're going to be taking our measurements on the pattern. So our measurement is our bust point. You take the circumference of your bust, which one is 36 inches. 36 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to add 1 inch sewing allowance. Then the next thing is you go to your waist. You take your waist measurement. My waist measurement, which is being 30 inches. 30 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance plus your dart measurement. This dart measurement here is 1 inch. So you go ahead to add that as well. So that's going to be here. And then this same measurement is what you're going to bring to the end of the blouse, because we want it to have a very tight effect, the blouse. We're not going to be using our measurement. So here we're just going to go ahead to connect our dots that we marked together. So after that, we're going to go ahead to our neck measurement. So our neck measurement is not so much of a big deal. So we're just going to go ahead to take 3 inches. Blouse length, the neck is as deep as getting to your under bust. So I'm just going to be taking that. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect these 3 inches to our under bust here. So after that, I'm going to go ahead to come here. I'll take away 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to connect this to the shoulder line, and then we'll go ahead to connect this with our French core here. So this is what we have. So we're going to cut it now. We're just going to go ahead to cut open our under bust here. So after we've done that, for the back, we're just going to go ahead to take our back neck measurement. So we're going to go ahead to take 1 inch, and then we'll go ahead to connect this to our neck. So yes, this is what we have. So first, as I was saying earlier, we're going to go ahead to cut open this place, and then I just remembered, if you realize the blouse length is a little, it gives this V effect. So we're going to go ahead to take the desired measurements that we want. So we're going to be using 19.5. We'll go ahead to 19.5, and then we'll go from that 19.5 to connect it together. So mind you, before connecting it together, we're going to take away 1 inch, as in our ones, before taking it away, and then we're just going to go ahead to connect this to the blouse length. This is what we have here, and then here you just notice that there's a little difference. You could just add a very few difference to that, and then we'll just go ahead connect it. And this is what we're going to be having. So for the back measurements, it's just a straight 19 this way. So first thing is we're going to cut this our pattern out. So this is our underbust. And then we'll go ahead to open that. So this is how that. Mind you, when you're cutting for the back, you're going to go ahead to cut it open. What we're going to do now is we're going to first go ahead to cut the back of the dress. So here now, for the upper part, we're going to be using the sunray, and for the waist area, we're going to be using our Ankara fabric. So let's go ahead to cut this out. I'll be using the Ankara as well to line it, the clothes. So this is what we have. When you're cutting the front, you add your zipper allowance, and then at the top of the your underbust, you're going to be adding half an inch for joining allowance with the other fabric. So then you're going to go ahead to put all of those aside. Then the next thing is we're going to go ahead to cut our other fabric. First thing, for cutting the back, remember to add your joining allowance. So this is our back. Then we'll go ahead to cut the front. But before cutting the front, you go ahead to cut the neck open. Cut the front. Always remember to add your joining allowance. So here's our front, and this is what it looks like. Now keep this to the side. So now we'll go ahead to fold the remaining part of this for our sleeve. I'm just going ahead to take our sleeve measurement. So first thing, we're going to take our sleeve length, which is 23 inches. From that 23 inches, we're going to go ahead to cut this to add 1 inch because I want it to be extra. See, our sleeve is already folded into 4. So we're going to go ahead to measure this out. Come here, we take 3 inches, and then we're going to go ahead to connect this to the 3 inches that we have already marked, and then we're going to cut this at a straight line. Mind you, it's a free sleeve, so that's why I'm taking about 16 inches because it's a very big sleeve. My sleeve circumference is about 12 inches, but because it's a very free sleeve, I added extra. If you want it to be so extra, you can still go ahead to add more sleeves to it. So here now I'm going to go ahead to just cut this out. So this is what it looks like after I've cut our sleeve. Then we'll put this to the side. So virtually this is every pieces we need for our blouse. Yeah, everything we need for our blouse. So after that, we're going ahead to cut for our skirts. So the skirt is a very easy skirt. All you just do is fold this into 2. I'm going ahead to measure the desired length I want, because I'm not going to be aiming this and I'm not going to be sewing this here. I'm just going to be using it the way it's cut already. So what I'm going to do is measure my desired skirt length. So now you can see that here the length of the skirt may not be as short as theirs because I really want to wear the clothes. So go ahead to take that out, and after we've done this, bring it into two, just like this, and then mind you, the folding is together with the short one in front. And then I'm going ahead to just take my waist measurement, because I'm going to be cutting this as a V shape, but it's going to be very free. My waist is 32 inches, like I said, and then I'm just going to cut this way as a little V. This is what we're having. So now you have two bands which are going to join at the sides and just throw an elastic into it. But before then, I'm going to take the measurements. So my waist measurement is 32, and then we're going to add extra 2 inches just for ease, to be able to weigh it easily. And then we're going to cut this out, this excess fabric. And then we'll go ahead to join these two as well together by 1/2 inch, and join this. Okay, then we'll keep this to the side. So I'm gonna have to iron tissue stay on every pieces. So what we'll be doing is we'll be joining all our darts together at the front and the back. All the darts, we'll be joining them together. So yeah, I'm just notching out the that I went to sew, just a little bit so it will rest very well, and make sure you don't cut it too close to the thread that you made. So after that, I'm going ahead to iron that out. I'm going to iron them all out. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead to take our back and front, and then we'll go ahead to join the shoulders together. Mind you, when you're sewing, if you're going to use a sunray, use paper to sew it, because they're very difficult fabric to sew. So after joining the shoulders together, we'll go ahead to use our ribbon to turn the neck. So now I've successfully cut the turned the neck of the cloth. So what we're going to do now is going to reduce this side by 1 inch. Take a stance like this, just to reduce any bulkiness when you finish attaching it. So we'll go ahead to join this lower part. Then we'll go ahead to join this lower part and the zipper allowance. Do that. When we join them, we'll just turn them to the right side. And make sure to iron them out. After I've gone ahead to turn them out and press them, you go ahead to sew the front to the front. Make sure when you're sewing it, this has about 1/4 inch for the zipper allowance. And mind you, you're joining it on one side this way. You're going to cover it up just like this. So we're going to go ahead to place this in, but you leave about 1/2 inch, and then you sew that down. You tuck it in this way, and then we'll sew it down. Make sure to arrange the fabric into it, and then that's what we're going to do for everything. And for the back as well, go ahead to aggressively first make the back. First go ahead to sew the back. You sew it down So let's go. We sew the back down, then the same method we used to sew the front. So the sides are going to still be outside, the side is going to be opened, so you use the sides to turn them out. Here's what we have after we have done this. So we'll go ahead to fix our zip to this place. So our zip allowance, I'm gonna have to fix the zip, which it looks like after I've fixed it. I did not I just folded it the flap method. I didn't use the invisible method. So after that, we're just going ahead to fold this and then go ahead to sew it down by our allowance. Now we just added 1 inch allowance, 1 inch sewing allowance to it. So we're going ahead to cancel this down by 1 inch sewing allowance. So I've already gone ahead to sew this down. And this measure 6 inches, mark it round, because we'll be sewing an elastic on that 6 inches. Is we're going to go ahead to sew this elastic and pull the fabric and pull till we get to the other end. Then so here's what we have after we've done that. So what we're doing now is just go ahead to sew this by 1/2 inch, like I said earlier, and then we'll join the sleeve to our armhole. And I had to join the sleeve to our top, and here's what our top is looking like. So now we're going to our skirts. Let's go ahead and start making our skirts. So first things first, we're gonna have to join our bands by 1/2 inch on both ends. So here now I'm gonna head to sew the bands by 1/2 inch, and then the next thing is I'm going to fold this into 2, just like this. After I've done that, I'm going to go ahead to take our elastic band. I'm going to take the measurement that I'll be needing for this. I'll go ahead to sew this down and place it inside this. So here we're just going to go ahead to put it inside, just like this one, and then we're going to sew it down. And make sure to fix it inside, then you sew it by 1/2 inch just to close it up. So after closing it, this is what it looks like. So then we'll take our skirt, the body part that we already cut, we're gonna have to join this with 2 sides. We're gonna have to join it by 1/2 inches. So I'm gonna have to sew the 2 sides together. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the band, the waist area, and then I'm going to, where the joinings are, I'm going to pin them down on both sides, and I'm going to go ahead to just sew it round. So I'm gonna head to join the elastic to the skirt, and here's what it looks like after I did that. But this is what we have, our beautiful skirts for our beautiful top. So this is our outfit. It's ready to be slayed by a beautiful queen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned to the channel. I really appreciate. Thank you for always watching, for always liking, for always sharing, for subscribing as well. And if you're yet to subscribe, tell me what you're waiting for. Kindly hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel.